Hey Hunters, welcome back. So today I'm here with a brand new project and a little bit of sunburn. So we are going to be making the Scarecrow Reaper that you see behind me. It's actually going to be a centerpiece for one of the outdoor scenes in my haunted house. The goal is to have this black support over here covered with corn, so it looks like he's freestanding, he's floating by holding onto his scythe that you see right there. I'm actually really happy with how the project came out, and we are going to learn how to make it right now. So let's get started.
Okay, so I'm going to start by marking and cutting some PVC pipe with my brand new PVC cutter because I destroyed my old one. And here we have the parts list for the base. I'm going to break this up into 3 sections. So first we have the base. We have 1 PVC elbow, 3 PVC tees, 2 3-foot pieces of pipe, 4 1-foot pieces of pipe, and 1 2-inch piece of pipe. So I'm going to take the 1-foot pieces of pipe and hammer them into the horizontal sides. And I'm going to take the 3-foot pieces of pipe and put them in the sides that stick out. And we're going to make 2 T's. And then I'm going to take the elbow and the 2-inch piece and then stick it together into the remaining T. So that way we're going to have 1 long T. And then we're going to make like a V to connect them together. And then I'm just going to hammer everything in. So there you can see the T connects to the elbow, and then the 2 feet made from the T's. So next we have the parts list for his staff. So I have 1 1-inch PVC T, 2 1-inch PVC couplings, and 4 1-foot pieces of pipe. Then I'm going to be alternating hammering in a 1-foot piece of pipe into the base, followed by a coupling, then another 1-foot piece of pipe, followed by another coupling, then another 1-foot piece of pipe, followed by the PVC T, and then another piece of pipe on top of that. And I did this for strength because I didn't want it to bend because this will be load bearing. And then for the arms, our final part, we have 2 2-foot pieces of pipe, 1 2-inch piece of pipe, 1 4-inch piece of pipe, 2 PVC T's, and 1 PVC elbow. So for the final part, I'm taking the 2-inch piece of pipe and I'm fitting it into the elbow and then hammering it in. And then I'm connecting the T so that they're perpendicular to each other. Is that the right word? And then I'm hammering them together. So it's going to be the same type of joint that we made for the base. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to be taking the 4-inch piece of pipe and I'm putting that into the front of the PVC T. And then I'm taking the final T and I'm hammering it into the front of the 4-inch piece, and then that piece is the part where his head is going to be fitted into on the top there. Then I'm taking the long 2-foot piece and I'm going to put that one on each side of the angle that we created by fitting those together, and I'm just going to hammer everything in place. And then I'm going to hammer the arm assembly into the side of the staff assembly so that we have our completed structure. Now I'm just drilling pilot holes so that I can screw all the joints together because I refuse to use PVC glue. I refuse. And I'm just using short drywall screws to connect everything together. So I forgot to film myself adding the blade of the scythe into the top of the staff. I actually just bought this plastic scythe on Amazon. It was like $6, and I broke off the handle and just kind of pressure fit it into the top. It's not screwed in or anything, but it's gonna stay because I have faith, you know? And now I'm just painting the staff section this like tannish green color, just because that's what I thought the color should be. And then I'm dusting over it with some black spray paint just to give it some like difference, texture. And then I'm spray painting everything else matte black just so you can't see it at night. I'm cutting a hole in the center of this blanket that was given to me by my dear friend Bridget. and the hole is for where the head is going to go, and I'm just draping it on top of the structure. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut some jagged edges so it doesn't look like a blanket draped over some plumbing. And then I'm going to cut 2 black t-shirts I got at the thrift store down the sides so that I can unfold them into one long piece of fabric. There just happens to be a hole in the middle, but you won't see it. And I'm going to hang them over the structure, but not halfway, just so they're a little bit longer than the blanket was. And then I'm going to zip tie both ends onto the pipe after poking a hole through the fabric with a scissor. And then that way they'll stay on there. And then I found a satin pillowcase, and I'm cutting that in half. And I'm just going to drape that over where the head is going to go, just to fill in that space in the middle. And then I'm going to cut some jagged edges on all the fabric. And then I'm placing the blue blanket back on top of the black just to see how it all looks together. So I figured out a cheap and easy way to make like wig forms that I use for masks. So I'm just going to take a piece of PVC and then duct tape over the end so it doesn't poke through, stuff a plastic bag with newspaper, and then just wrap it up with duct tape until it's a head shape, and then fit a mask over it. So we're going to take that and pressure fit it into the top. And then I'm using a pillowcase as a hood. It's brown and has paisley. And then I'm spray painting onto the fabric just to give it some difference in color, make it look gross. And now we're going to make the hands, which is easily the most time-consuming part of this project, but I don't want to pay for zombie hands, so I found this way to make them online. And I'm just going to make a hand shape out of some like bendy wire that I got at Michael's. And then I'm going to take some masking tape, and I'm just going to wrap the entire thing in masking tape until it looks like a skeleton hand. So I'm going to do it in sections where like some parts are thicker than others to kind of simulate the look of like a bony hand. And then I'm going to fill in the like division of the bone with black marker. Now, I know this isn't the most glamorous hand you've ever seen, but it's a pretty convincing illusion, and also it's going to be dark, so who cares? And also, I made them, and I like them. And it was around this time that I decided, these fingers are a little skinny. They could probably be a little thicker. And I could probably have put cotton balls underneath the tape to make them thicker. But it's fine, live and learn, right? And then to attach them, I poked a hole through the center of the palm with a scissor. And then I took a zip tie and then put it through. And then that's just going to stay on there right there. And that's just one hand. I made another one the same exact way, and that was also attached the same way. I just made that one look like it was grabbing onto the staff. And that's it, he's all done. He looks creepy and fantastic. I love how it looks like he's floating by holding onto the staff. I really can't wait to see how it looks when the supports are covered with corn and it just looks like he's floating and there's lighting. I just really think he makes a great piece.
Hey Hunters, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, question, hit the subscribe button, even hit the notification bell if you're crazy. If you didn't like the video, don't tell me because it'll hurt my feelings. Okay, happy haunting.